Good day everyone, I'm Robin Agudelo and today we will talk about the male reproductive system. But before we start our discussion, let us all know our learning objectives for today. First is to describe the location and functions of the testes. Next is to explain the functions of the epididymis, ductus deferens, ejaculatory duct, and urethra. Explain the functions of the seminal vesicle, prostate glands, and bulbourethral glands. Describe the composition of semen and explain why its pH must be alkaline. Name the parts of a sperm cell and state the function of each. Since nalaman na natin ang objectives natin para sa lesson na to, simulan na natin ang discussion sa testes. It says that the testes are located in the scrotum, a sac of skin between the upper thighs. The temperature within the scrotum is about 96 degrees Fahrenheit. So, isipin natin na ang testes ay ang powerhouse ng sperm production. Sinasabi na ang testes ay mayroong sariling lalagyan na gawa sa skin which is known as scrotum. Ngayon, yung scrotum na to is siya yung responsible sa pag-maintain ng tamang temperature sa testes para makatulong sa pagpoproduce ng healthy na sperm. Sa mga male fetus, nade-develop ito malapit sa part ng kidney, pero as the fetus grows, nagde-descend na sila into scrotum. Once na masettle na, each testis na to ay umaabot ng 1.5 inches long and by 1 inch wide. So internally, sinasabi din na ang testes is nade-divide into lobes. Inside each lobe ng testis ay may mga tiny tubes na makikita. Yun yung tinatawag natin na seminiferous tubules, kung saan dito nangyayari yung spermatogenesis. Pero ano nga ba yung spermatogenesis? Yung spermatogenesis is yung process ng paggawa ng sperm. Ngayon, balik tayo sa tubules. So, within these tubules, there are different kinds ng cells na ginagawa yung trabaho nila or yung part nila. Una ay yung sustentacular cells, kung saan sila yung responsible sa pag-nourish and support ng mga developing sperm. Sila din yung nagpo-produce ng hormone na tinatawag na inhibin. Sunod naman ay yung intertestitial cells, kung saan yung cells na to naman ay nagpo-produce ng testosterone kapag nakakarinig or nakaka-receive sila ng signal na tinatawag na luteinizing hormone mula sa brain's anterior pituitary glands. Next is cryptorchidism. It is when one or both ng testicles ay hindi nakababa all the way down ng scrotum. The problem in here is that when the testes stay up high, pwede siyang maging reason para hindi siya mag-function ng mas maayos. Now let's discuss the parts of the sperm cell. The first one is the head. Inside this head ay mayroong 23 na chromosomes, which is nagkikarry siya ng genetic information para makagawa ng panibagong human being. Sa tip naman ng head is yung acrosome, kung saan tinutulungan niya yung sperm na mag-break through sa protective membrane na nagsusurround sa egg cell. Moving down to the middle piece, inside we will see the mitochondria. Yung mitochondria naman is nagpo-produce siya ng ATP, which is yung energy currency ng isang cell. Pag walang ATP, hindi magkakaroon ng energy ang sperm cell para mag-swim around. Lastly is yung flagellum. Siya yung tiny tail na nag-whip back and forth para mag-forward yung sperm cell. So as we can see naman, di ba? Each part ng sperm cell is may role or part na ginagampanan para sa fertilization. Now, let's talk about epididymis. The epididymis plays a crucial role in the final stages of sperm development. As the sperm cell travels through the epididymis, nag-undergo siya sa isang process na tinatawag niya maturation. Part ng maturation process na to is yung development ng flagella. Once na yung flagella is fully formed na, ready na yung sperm. Pero yung epididymis is hindi niya hinahayaan na mag-mature yung sperm on their own. Kapag fully formed na yung sperm sa epididymis, mag-move on na siya sa susunod na tubule, which is yung ductus deferens. Ductus deferens, or also known as vas deferens. Yung ductus deferens na to is like a highway para sa sperm. Now, nagsa-start to mula sa epididymis, which is kung saan nagpo-process ang cell, which is located ngayon sa scrotum. Yung ductus deferens naman is hindi siya nagsistay sa scrotum. Nagta-travel siya upward into the abdominal cavity with the help of inguinal canal. Yung canal na to is passageway na nagdutuktong mula sa scrotum sa abdomen. Now, inside this canal is the spermatic cord, which is yung cord na to is parang protective sleeve na gawa sa connective tissue and nag-hold siya ng mga important na bagay. Once na yung ductus deferens make its way into the abdominal cavity, magta-travel up siya over the bladder and then back down the backside to join up another important duct, which is the ejaculatory duct. This is where sperm and other fluids mix bago yung ejaculation. Ejaculatory ducts has two passage na nagre-receive mula sa dalawang magkaibang places. Yung ductus deferens na nagdadala ng sperm at yung seminal fluids which adds its own fluid. So yung ducts na to is nag-work as pairs. Nagjo-join force sila and then empty their contents sa isang tube which is yung urethra. Yung urethra na to is yung nagdadala lahat palabas ng body during ejaculation. Seminal vesicles is located behind the bladder. It secretes fructose na nagbibigay ng energy source sa sperm para mag-swimming lang sila. Now, each of these vesicles has a little tube na nagkokonekta mula sa ductus deferens. Prostate gland makes a special kind of fluid. Now, this fluid is a bit acidic, which is helpful para malabanan yung mga germs. It also has something called citric acid. When it's time, the prostate gland flexes its muscle. These muscles push the special fluid and the sperm out of the urethra. Bulbourethral glands, or also known as Cowper's glands, squirt out a liquid into where the pee and sperm come out, called the urethra. Now, this liquid is kinda like a shield. When it coats the inside of the urethra just before ejaculation, it neutralizes any acidic pee that might still be hanging around. Para bang kapag naglalagay tayo ng sunscreen sa balat, para protect natin yung skin natin mula sa sun. So, this liquid from these glands helps to balance things. This way, kapag nag-swim na yung sperm into the female vagina, hindi sila mapapabagal ng acidity. Circumcision is when doctors surgically remove the foreskin, which is the bit of skin covering the tip of the penis. They often do this when babies are born. Now, some people argue about whether this is really necessary, but studies have shown that guys who are circumcised, meaning they had this procedure, seem to have lower risk of getting HIV, which is a virus that can make you very sick. Let's talk about the semen. Semen consists of sperm and the secretion of seminal vesicles, prostate glands, and bulbourethral glands. Semen has a pH. Now, this pH is yung nagme-measure para malaman kung gaano ka-acidic ang isang bagay. Ang pH ng semen is 7.4, which is kinda like water. Now, during ejaculation, a guy typically releases about 2 to 4 millimeters of semen. Each millimeter of semen contains around 100 million sperm cells. And that consists my report about the male reproductive system. Thank you!